This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting out your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. To move on to the AFC South as the next division that we're talking about here. Houston Texans in the playoffs, so of course the resolution is to go win the whole thing here. But outside of that for Houston, this is a team with a young franchise quarterback in C.J. Stroud, still playing on that rookie contract, so you got a little bit of flexibility there. Invested a lot of picks and resources into some of the passing weapons for them. You have one of, if not the best defense in the entire NFL, but I think there's two areas of concern here for this team. One is on the offensive line. The other one is in the running back room. So do either of those have priority when you talk about resolutions for this team and goals that they should have for the 2026 season?
To me, it's the offensive line. Now, I do agree that beyond Woody Marks, they could use more depth at running back, and you could find that. I think they could find that maybe even in the mid-rounds of the draft again, like they found Marks. But it's the offensive line. This team in this postseason and in the future is going to go as far as that unit can take them. They are 25th in PFF grade as a unit this season. They're 21st in pass blocking grade. They're 25th in run blocking grade. And honestly, even those numbers right there, which are below average pretty solidly, they're better than we expected. We expected coming into the year that this could be the worst offensive line in football. You've had some guys step up. The second-round left tackle, Ariante Ursary. Ed Ingram coming in from Minnesota. He's played a lot better than he did in any of his 4 years in Minnesota, right? Trent Brown at right tackle. But those two guys on the right side are going to be free agents. So who are you keeping there? I think Ingram they could even make a priority, being that he did play well, especially in the run game this season. I should say he has played well. They're still alive. But that's what you want to do. You want to keep improving that offensive line. I think right tackle is going to be a big-time position of focus, and then possibly upgrades at center and left guard as well.
Yeah, I think they have to do what you're saying before they get to the running back part of things, because, I just looked it up really quick. I think I would like for them to have a true philosophical direction for their run game going into next year as well, because it felt like they were just trying to piece things together this year, right? Let's get whatever running backs we can. Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, like whoever it was, they're just trying to get somebody to give them some sort of return on investment from the running back position. And I think the same was with the offensive line. They just they threw a lot of different offensive linemen at this offensive line, and they said, okay, let's just try to find our best 5 available for this season. Next year, the resolution to me is be more intentional with how you're building the offensive line in the run game. What kind of an offensive line do you want to be? Do you want to maul people between the tackles? Do you want to be a power running game type of a team? Do you want to run a lot of duo, a lot of counter, a lot of pullers? Or do you want to be a team that gets out into space? Do you want to run mid and outside zone? Do you want to be a team that lives more towards the numbers and to the sideline? That's what I really want for this team. So the resolution is, in my opinion, make that decision first. That's the resolution. Find out how philosophically you want to be as an offensive line and as a run game, and then from there, address the offensive line first, and then get some complementary backs in there as well to go along with Woody Marks. But I agree with you. I think that that's probably the priority of how they should go about things and the resolution that they should have there to continue to make their offense complete to complement what is already one of the best defenses in the NFL. Indianapolis. Man, this is a very interesting team that started 7-1 on the season. Then all that came down to a crashing halt as they don't even make the playoffs. They were even eliminated before the final week of the year, which is hard to believe, starting out 7-1. They've got a lot up in the air with their quarterback situation, but Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen both returning for at least one more year for this team. What's the resolution for as a team as hot and cold as the Colts were this year?
You just mentioned it. Figure out who the hell's playing quarterback. I mean, Daniel Jones, the guy who had you with that 7-1 record, he tore his Achilles. Anthony Richardson, the former 4th overall pick, played a whole 14 snaps this year. You saw some Phillip Rivers. They got so desperate for Phillip Rivers at the end of the year, trying to stay in the postseason hunt. Riley Leonard started in Week 18, a good start, but a 61 passing grade there in his limited reps this season. And they don't have a first-round pick for the next 2 years because of the Sauce Gardner trade with the New York Jets. So that really, I mean, this is as ambiguous a quarterback situation as we have in the league. I mean, do they give Richardson another shot? Do they bring in a different veteran? Do they trust Jones off of a torn Achilles, being that he's been in the system for a year? Is there any chance it's Riley Leonard for any reason? I mean, this is really, you just have to find any sort of clarity going, because this is what really sank, because this team, when they couldn't run the football, we talked about this in just about every review show we did for these Colts games. When they couldn't run the football, the offense just shut down. They have to find some answer at quarterback that can prevent that and get them over the hump now.
I have no idea what they do at quarterback.
I don't either.
Because Steichen wants to point and shoot quarterback, right?
Well, and here's the one guy that I'm going to tell you, like I did with Daniel Jones last year.
Right.
And I wouldn't bring back Jones on a torn Achilles. I think there's such a limited bit there, although I'm going to another injury-prone guy. I actually think Tua would fit this team.
So I thought that's the reason why I said the point and shoot word or phrase is because he makes the most sense for that.
Yep.
Miami's going to cut him. If he is available, no one's trading for him on that contract. So Miami will cut him, and you will be able to get him for a relatively easy deal, I think.
Well, like Russell Wilson with the Giants, you'll basically, I mean, they paid him, I think, was it $20 million it was? But either way, you're not paying Tua very much because the rest of it, the Dolphins are on the hook for anyway.
The Colts, they only have 39 players under contract for next year, so they have a handful of guys that they need to bring back. But they have a good amount of salary cap space. Like, they have the ability to work this. Now, do they have the ability to trade for Tua or Kyler or something like that? No, probably not. There would be a lot of money that would have to be paid by the teams that they're currently at, which maybe you get to that point. But I think Tua because Tua makes more sense for this team than Kyler.
Yes.
You know, Aaron Rodgers probably makes the most sense for this team, actually, with him being a free agent. But are they going to run back the veteran thing after doing that with Phillip Rivers, after doing that with Carson Wentz, after doing that with Matt Ryan?
I also don't get the sense Rodgers will play anywhere else now.
I agree.
If he plays again, I think he'll play in Pittsburgh
from
again.
Indy's side of things. Do you even want to run that back knowing that you've done this like 4 times already and it has not worked for you since Andrew Luck? I don't even know if they'd be interested in doing that. I think Tua makes more sense than Malik Willis.
Yes. The type of passer, yeah. I'm in on that.
And so now you go, okay, well, does Tua now make more sense than bringing back Jones and just hoping that Richardson's better now? Like, do you get in the point where you've made so many quarterback moves over the last 3 to 4 years, you go, let's just try to bring back the guy that we liked a lot, and then...
Well, I would assume if Jones is coming back, if he's healthy in time, that he's going to be the starter.
Well, he'll be the starter for you. But you have to still say the words like, if he's not or if he's bad, we got to be okay with going to Richardson. Because if you're not with that plan, then I think that probably Tua makes the most sense for this team.
Yeah, the style of passer, yes, I agree. It's just a matter of if they feel like that fresh start. Now, it worked for Jones, obviously, for a while until he got hurt, so maybe it would work for Tua as well. It's a strange dynamic we have with the Colts right now and what they're expecting because the rest of their roster is pretty good.
Figuring out the quarterback situation, that's the resolution for Indianapolis. Jacksonville, team that could very well win it all. I'm not saying that tongue-in-cheek like I kind of was a little bit before. It was like, hey, they're in the dance. They could win it all. That's obviously the resolution. The resolution for Jacksonville is to win it all, which is kind of crazy to say that they don't have Travis Hunter for any of it, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, what's the resolution for them, you think?
Find some way to take what you've gotten from Trevor Lawrence the last month and a half and put it in a bottle and just keep it somewhere. Because we saw this. We saw a hot stretch out of Lawrence in the second half of 2022, the last time they made the playoffs.
Right.
And it was, okay, can we hang on to this?
Right.
And it looked pretty good the first half of 2023. Then it petered off and he got hurt, and 2024 was a disaster. Can we keep it this time? Can Liam Cohen sustain it going into next season? Do we have finally an elite quarterback, right? Trevor Lawrence is the chosen one. Let me just give you some numbers here. Last 5 games, 94 PFF grade. Elite stuff, obviously. 15 touchdowns, 1 interception, 17 big-time throws, 2 turnover-worthy plays. It does not get any better than the way Trevor Lawrence is playing right now. Maybe he can carry him to the Super Bowl, as some people have bet on. If he can sustain something close to this level of play, and he finally lives up to that potential long-term, he's an MVP candidate. He's a guy you feel like a Super Bowl window is open with consistently, and Liam Cohen is just out there proving he's one of the best offensive coaches in the league. That's really what it's about. Will we see this version of Trevor Lawrence, this MVP caliber version of Trevor Lawrence, in the 2026 season for an extended stretch? Is he basically, are all the prophecies finally fulfilled?
Right. Good news is for them, Liam Cohen ain't going anywhere.
That's true.
And that's always the worry about, hey, if you're hitting it hot with a quarterback and you got a defensive-minded head coach and it's the offensive coordinator who's really getting it done, well, guess what? They're going to go take a head coach job somewhere else. And it does not, Liam Cohen's not going anywhere, and it doesn't seem like this connection between these two is getting any less brighter, any less hot here as we're heading into the postseason. So I agree with you. I think that resolution for them, it's a defense that's playing really well. You've got to be able to retain a lot of the stars that you have that's hitting free agency. I would say a resolution, a change maybe. You've got to get better in the run game, because for as much as we talk a lot about Trevor Lawrence and this offense, the run game has been uninspiring for Jacksonville. And I wonder if it's just a matter of, hey, Travis Etienne, he's a free agent this upcoming free agency period. Are you just kind of letting him walk and you're cool with Bashaw Tootin and you're good with him moving forward? But I think the run game's got to be a little bit better for them to sustain this winning window over the next couple of years. So I will throw that in there as well. Final team in this division is the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, drafting Cam Ward, having Cam Ward in that situation, they're going to be hiring a new head coach for him. So a lot of things up in the air, a lot of flexibility here for Tennessee. What's the resolution here for you?
Got to get the coach right. We saw it with several teams this past season. Liam Cohen, offensive coach, fixing Trevor Lawrence. Ben Johnson in Chicago with Caleb Williams, right? I think if you can find the right coach, the right offensive play caller for Cam Ward, you can start to have success on this team. The offensive line played better down the stretch. You've got young weapons along with them, right? Alec Iamaner, Chimere Dike, Gunnar Helm at tight end, right? I think the run game got going a little bit better, but Cam Ward has got to be able to improve, and he's got to have the right situation to improve, right? Kind of a lame duck situation this year with Brian Callahan getting fired midseason, but 56.4 passing grade, 5.9 yards per attempt, and obviously suffered the injury in Week 18. I think they just need to figure out what their offensive identity is and who is the right person to lead this team and lead this offense so Cam Ward can hit his full potential.
Yep, I agree that you've just got to get the head coach right. And I don't know exactly what that answer is. Obviously, having an offensive mind would be ideal here. I don't know if Stefanski's the guy who makes the most sense for him. Matt Nagy has been somebody that people have thrown around his name. Do you take a swing at like a Clint Kubiak, whatever? So there are other offensive minds that you could think about here, but getting that right obviously is all that matters. That's the resolution. That's the ask. That's what you have to have moving forward for Tennessee.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok gurus sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff. Because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.